What's going on, Wolfpack Nation? We are back, baby, and I am back after 2 live shows in a row of not being on. I'm finally back, and it's actually funny. Real quick, it's oh my gosh, Greg. Anyway, it's been so long that the last time I was on, we were previewing the UNC basketball game,
and I think we had a winning record in the ACC.
We did. Yeah, we were tied. We were fighting for first in the ACC.
That way, I know we technically still have a winning record.
Yeah, you know. All right, Michael. Sheesh. Gosh. No. First of all, thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, we appreciate it. Don't worry, as unfortunately, we will have to discuss the elephant in the room, and we will definitely get to that here.
Wait. Is that a dig at me?
Yeah,
no,
elephant in the room,
no.
Greg.
Yeah, yes, Greg. No, but we will also talk about some awesome stuff such as women's basketball. We also got some giveaway winners that we need to get some prizes selected with. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And again, y'all, if you've been with us before, you know the drill. But just a reminder, if you haven't been with us, make sure any questions, thoughts, concerns, questions, whatever you got, make sure to put them in the chat, and we will get to them all here today.
I have one. Is NC State basketball going to win another game?
Well, let's discuss it. So with that being said, let's jump on over to our first question to kind of lead us into this conversation. So let's jump on over to some mailbag. And all right. So we're going to start off with like the easier one, and then really kind of jump to the the tough question here. But we actually had this question submitted to us again on our Discord. But what happened that caused us to lose so much national presence in basketball since 1983? And just to kind of put some around this, and Michael, I'll bring you in just to kind of put something a little bit around this. I remember that there was like one of those like time lapse graphs things where it shows like all time college basketball wins, and it had like NC State was like top 5 like for a while. Basically, I mean, from the 50s, 60s, all the way through the 80s, and then all of a sudden in the 90s, we just started to kind of disappear and just completely fall off the chart. So
I figured it out. You guys were born.
Yeah, a while.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that is perfect. Greg.
This is the easy question, or is that?
This is a much easier one compared to the other one. I thought bringing up
my answer. I think here's the short version to me.
Yeah,
2 parts. It's the losing, and I think that's easy, right?
Yeah.
Losing. And it's UNC and Duke winning, right? I mean, they kept going, and I think Jamie V came out of the program. Mike Krzyzewski was going up, and 2 totally different trajectories at that point. And winning national championship. I really think that was part of it because their schools are right next, so close to each other. How successful those two programs were, I do think impacted NC State. Now, you could go into a whole deeper thing to it. It's losing, but it's ADs. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to go as far as say maybe bad ADs making bad hires.
No, that's what it is.
And bringing in bad coaches. And over time, for so many years, and again, I say losing, not winning any ACC basketball championships in like the last 20, 30 years, somewhere in there. Having a more than your rivals do, like a dip in how you're successful. That's really it. I mean, it's like it just boils down to that. It's just a lot of bad ADs making bad coaching hires, and honestly, not knowing when to pull the string or the rug out of the thing sooner rather than later, right?
And just to give a little context too. So I mean, like basically from 1946 to 1990, these were our coaching records. So Everett Case had a 377 and 134 record. Press Maravich had 38 and 13. Norm Sloan had 26 127. Yep. Jimmy V had a 209 to 114, and then Les Robinson had a 78 to 98 record. So just a huge drop off. But Michael, I know you've been dying to get in.
What was Herb Sendick in there?
191 to 132. So 59.1% winning percentage. So
I know who has the highest winning percentage.
Yeah. Your number one draft choice for coaching.
Press Maravich, baby. Let's go. But Michael, I know you've been dying to get in, so come on, man. Give us your thoughts.
Dying.
I kind of reiterating just what Macon said. It was, I think, the downfall of Valvano, whether, that whole saga, however you want to put it,
the bogusness of it.
Yeah, definitely did not help. And then, from that point on, it was like Bacon said, it's bad hires.
Lee Fowler comes to mind for me. Like, just, like,
I don't think Debbie Yao was a bad hire, but it was so far gone at that point. And it's like,
well, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But, I mean, I think that just like you were saying, Macon, that we hired after Jen Valvano, we hired Les Robinson, who didn't work out. But then while we got Les Robinson, UNC had a short little burst and then switched over from Dean Smith to Roy Williams. And then Duke had, Coach K. So both UNC and Duke both had, basically during this whole stretch, some of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. And we were almost, unfortunately, I hate to say it against Les, but scraping a little bit of the bottom of the barrel a little bit.
Yeah, I change your statement to the greatest coaches. I mean, there's no doubt that they are, they're in the top 5 of wins for a reason. So,
heck, UNC went from Dean Smith to Roy Williams. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they spanned 50 years, 60 years of basketball for them.
And they got Roy Williams when you could argue that, he was extremely successful. So they took him from one successful program and got him into another successful program. And that's just something that NC State, hasn't been able to pull off that Power 5 coach, right? When you transition from one coach to another. I mean, Les Robinson was I think he was East Middle Tennessee State or something like that. Herb was somewhere in Ohio. I'm thinking Miami of Ohio. That comes to mind. I'm kind of pulling these out of dark places right now, but I believe that was the case. But you get Roy, who's a Power 5 coach, a successful coach. That's just something we haven't been able to do. Is we haven't been able to expand on successful coaches, and that's that's a for disaster.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an example here. So they had, and I said it went from Dean Smith to Roy Williams. They had UNC had Bill Guthridge and Matt Doherty in between there, but they knew when to pull the rug out. So Bill Guthridge had, I'm looking here, he had a 74 win percentage. I mean, that's pretty good, but he couldn't be what Dean Smith was. He couldn't do that, and so got rid of him. Go to Matt Doherty, and that was probably the dark periods for UNC lately. Yeah. But that was between Bill Guthridge and Matt Doherty. 6 years.
Wow.
And it's like, they knew when to make a change. They were willing to make a change. And we stuck around with Sidney Lowe for a while, and we stuck around. I mean, I think oh gosh, I'm blanking on the guy's name before him.
Before who?
Herb Sendek.
Or Herb Sendek, yeah, I don't know why I'm blanking on him. Yeah, Herb was okay. Herb was good, or fine and good, but just a lot of not really. You're not winning a whole lot of games. That was really the difference, perception. And to answer your question, as you're losing more and more, and you can't get those championships, you stay with this coach for longer and longer. You don't have in my opinion, a commitment to championships and winning and excellence like that. Then you get away from that. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's really, in hindsight, now that we're all removed from those years, you can say that. So.
Yeah, and you can even going back to when Debbie Yao was looking for Gottfried, he wasn't her first choice. That he was like third or fourth. For whatever reason, NC State kind of got blackballed during that whole coaching search with Gary Williams kind of tampering and talking smack out there and trying to ruin her. But it's tough. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Basketball is the easiest program to turn around, and you just got to find that coach, man. And then you got to pull the right, like you said, pull the right strings, and it takes a winning culture from the top. It's going to take facilities. It's going to take money. And I'm not saying money fixes everything, but if you're willing to go out and spend some money, you give yourself a better chance.
Yeah. So, Kins, I want to bring you in here. So, first of all, what's up? And what are your thoughts here? And by the way, before you start, Kins, let us know in the comments too, y'all. What is your thoughts in terms of what has really been the turn? Do you think it's the sanctions? Do you think it's athletic directors? What do you think? Let us know in the chat. And we'll highlight a couple. Go ahead, Kins.
I mean, kind of what everybody's been saying. I feel like to make it a short story is we're not winning. Like, I mean, not many. We have 2 blue blood schools less than 30 minutes away from us. So I've heard a lot of people say, why would you want to go play at State when you could play at Duke or Carolina and make it to the NBA while also have an opportunity to win a championship? So it's like, you hate to hear people say that, but I mean, we haven't won one since '83. So it's a pretty good argument to make. So yeah. I just feel like not winning is definitely knocking us lower and lower off that pole of people wanting to come. And if you don't have the talent, you obviously aren't going to produce those wins. Yeah,
agreed. And got Charles Oxstein in here. I'm stuck on us hiring the head coach of Charleston Southern if we fire Keats. And again, I don't necessarily want to talk about replacements yet. I mean, just like, at the end of the day, even though things are bad, and again, we're going to talk about it even still more, at the end of the day, things can happen. Like, now have we seen anything, in my opinion, to make me believe that we can? Not really. But I mean, at the end of the day, I've seen crazier things. Let's put it that way. So
I don't think the schedule's getting any easier to, where you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, we just went through the murderous row of our schedule. It's going to get better. I don't see that.
I'm terrified to play at Carolina, if I'm being completely honest.
Unless something dramatically changes at this point, I just don't see us making it into the WIC tournament.
No.
And
you gotta have to
say this early. We're in January and we're saying that, and I really hate that. But I am not saying that the team could somehow figure it out and totally shift gears and become great. But they're going to have to win so many of these games to be able to do that.
Yeah, they got to go on a roll.
The odds are kind of stacked against them. So it's not like it's now or never for them. But yeah.
So, and again, we'll kind of talk more about the Keats part here with the second question. But Steve Young added in here, back in the day, Rick Pitino was asked which of his assistants he would not want to coach against. He said Herb Sendek. Florida actually got the great one, just a wrong fit. So, Herb
was a good coach.
Herb was a good coach.
He was having the struggle, in my opinion, of trying to coach out of the mess that came before him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Herb's not the greatest coach in the world. I just think he was a solid, good to average coach. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we made a couple Sweet 16s under him. I mean,
right. And
look at this
Mark
point.
Godfrey did. How do we think about Mark Godfrey?
And that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Our last Sweet 16, our last significant run was 2015.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the last time he won an NCAA game.
Yep.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Sorry, didn't mean to kick us while we were down.
You dropped it.
I mean, it's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Almost.
That makes me so worse.
And Lynn talking about the administration, everything that happened with the Jimmy V and the sanctions. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just unfortunate stuff, and
it was the beginning.
It was the beginning for sure, and it was unfortunate that it had to happen that way, and it's unfortunate it caused Jimmy V to lose his job at State. Definitely a rough time, and but won't necessarily rehash all that. But same thing with Josh saying, in my opinion, I think we did Jimmy V wrong. Yep. I mean, we could definitely talk about that. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of didn't have a choice in the matter.
Correct.
It's crazy now looking back that he's been, for lack of a better word, almost exonerated from everything. It was pretty weak stuff, especially by today's standards. You would get a slap on the wrist. There was definitely agendas with all of that, and
the biggest thing that stands out to me is in the Surviving Advanced documentary where the NCAA investigator said, like, he actually wrote Jimmy V a letter, the guy who did the investigation, and wrote Jimmy V a letter saying, if I had a son who would play basketball, I'd want you to be my head coach, Jimmy V. So I mean, I think that should say a lot right there. The guy who was sent to investigate said, I would want my son to be coached by you.
I mean, it was a straight up witch hunt. They needed a scapegoat. It all was easy to just say, you're the guy, you're out. And
it's just I'm just at the point for me personally where I'm like, I'm tired of talking about 83. Like, it's so great.
Yes.
But I'm just tired of being like hanging
40 years ago.
83, right? I'm just tired of it. I want to win something in basketball and football. And I think, to be honest with you guys, I mean, the whole NIL stuff, like, maybe we need to figure out ways to put more money into basketball, because maybe you can win more sooner or later. But I mean, like, we had a large commitment in football. Maybe we need to start doing that in basketball. And I mean, I really think I would do that, because I'm tired of losing. And I mean, I've granted, State just lost 3 games, and the 3 games losing skid right now, and on the team this year. And we're caught up in our feelings and emotions about this right now. I get that, but it's still true. Like, it's still true. So I'm just
Yeah, I mean, those are 3 winnable games, and it was, it took a great comeback by us against Virginia just to get it to overtime. We were basically non-competitive after the first 10 minutes of the Syracuse game. There's nothing that's glaring that says, okay, look, if we just get a bounce here, a turnover there, we're right back in. Like, it just doesn't feel that way. Like, there's this. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people go to the game, for one, and 2, if they didn't show up with paper bags on their head. Like, I mean,
it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I mean, they showed up with bags on their head.
Bags is pretty bad, dude.
They showed up with that 2 years ago. A lot of the student section did. I mean, but it's
I
like,
know, but that's a little too far. They're not Carolina Panthers bad. I mean, Carolina Panthers.
Chill out on the Panthers. Relax.
So the Panthers are 2 in like whatever it was, and
yeah, I mean, at least State has a winning
I'm a Panthers
record.
fan, so
right?
I'm a Panthers fan. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
talk crap on the thing.
But the only reason I'm saying it is, I mean, in granted, it's not, Twitter or X is not the greatest place to get a pulse on a fan base, because people get up in their feels really easily. But people are up in their feels really bad. Like even the quote unquote apologist and loyalist to Coach Keats, like, they're kind of like flipping on the script there, and
the guys just don't look. It looks like it did 2-3 years ago, where the guys just look completely out of it on the court. Last year,
body language.
Yeah, last year we talked about how they all looked like they wanted to play together. They enjoyed playing together. They loved each other. But now it's like they're just like, you know what? It's another game. And when they get down by a certain amount, it's like, whatever. I feel like the only one that really shows that heart is Casey and DJ Horn. And that, I don't like to say that about the other guys, but that's genuinely how it feels. Like Casey stays that leader because, I mean, obviously he is the leader on that team.
Mhm.
And then DJ Horn is just trying everything in his power to shoot us out of the hole that we dug ourselves in. So
And we're not a great, and this is no anything. We're just not a great shooting team, and so it's
but we
really
also-
hard to dig yourself out of a hole.
Yeah.
If you have to dig yourself out of a hole.
And then if DJ Horn's not having a good game and he's trying to shoot us out of that hole and he misses, then he starts getting crap talked about on Twitter. It's like, I want to normalize fans leaving these guys alone. Like DJ Burns, you've seen a complete change in his mentality, because if you go and look at his likes on Twitter, and no player, they know that they're not playing well, obviously, guys. So we don't need to
100%.
go
Yeah,
and be like,
you don't have to pile on them.
yeah, like everybody who doesn't love DJ Burns, and when he has one bad game, y'all are like, sit him out. It's like, just these
I
guys
saw people saying like DJ sucks and all that. I'm like,
and it's like,
where
where
have you been? Like you
Right?
were like, I was like, he's a great sliced bread, and now he sucks. I'm like, it just, yeah, I don't
ridiculous.
care
I
for that
find
kind of
it
stuff.
I find it funny that the people that say those things couldn't put up 5 points in a college basketball game.
or they don't have profile pictures of themselves on their page.
Mhm.
So it's
a
just
lot
like,
easier to do it.
these guys are working their tails off. They're just as aggravated. Trust me. So it's like,
And-
leave them alone.
And that's why I will like, if I do say anything in terms of, maybe this person should get more minutes or anything like that,
Yeah.
like, I'm really going to carefully phrase that if I say it on Twitter, but I really wouldn't want to say something like that unless it's on a live show where I can explain
Yeah.
it. And at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, again, these are guys that are doing everything that they need to. And now, if we need to talk about the coaching staff, that's fine. They get paid a lot of money to get talked about,
Exactly.
that's their job.
And
But
they're
at the end of
the
the
only common denominator behind all of it. Like,
Exactly.
these guys, I mean, yeah, LJ Thomas and Breon Pass deserve minutes. I'll say that straight up. I'll tweet that every single day. But it's like, I'm also not going to say this person needs to be sat out. This person sucks. Like,
Right.
y'all,
This
they're
person
going
needs to
through
stop
it.
eating cheeseburgers or
Yeah,
like
they're
just the
going through it.
ridiculousness that's out there. Yeah.
Y'all are saying that they suck, but you have to realize basketball is a mental game as well.
Yep.
So if you're tearing these guys down before games, then they're
Yeah.
going to be like, why am I going out here and balling out for people that
like
are talking crap about me on
Yeah.
social media?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I just want to make 2 quick points because I
Go for it.
had the I guess I don't know if privilege is even the right word going to these games, but I went to the UVA game last week, and KC was kind enough to give me a couple of tickets, and just seeing everyone come out of the locker room after the game, they were down, emotionally beat down. These guys do care. Like, for people to go out on Twitter to say they don't care, they just don't have what it takes or whatever horrible take that people are giving, that's just not the right thing. And here's a guy that sent me a text. By the way, I've never given KC Morcell my phone number. So he reached out and got my phone number from somebody, and he texted me and said, "Thanks for coming out and supporting us tonight." Like, he didn't have to do that. So
Yeah.
I just want people to know that these guys care. Like, they're fighting their asses off, and it's just the results aren't there for them for whatever reason.
And it's just
and-
as frustrating for them as it is for us. Like, I mean, they're the ones that are going out there having it publicized on national television. We're just watching. So obviously that's hitting them way harder than it's hitting us. They obviously want to win. They want to win an ACC championship. They want it more than we do, which is hard to say. But it's like, just support these guys. It's a mental game, and seeing how down they've been, it breaks my heart knowing them personally and how much work they put in and day out for us.
And
What were you
because
gonna say, Michael?
sorry,
that
Michael, you've been waiting.
just on that Virginia game, we almost stole that one. I mean, Casey, that last second heave, man. I thought that
If
was
he
You're
would've
so poetic.
Oh,
Dude, I was
Oh.
like, holy cow, that almost went in.
Yeah.
And it was like a one hand toss too. Like, he wasn't even trying to make he just threw it.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people have submitted comments, and we will get to them here in 1 second. But I also do want to point out too that I think it's unfortunate for the guys that are playing right now that a lot of things you're seeing, a lot of the comments that are being made are also too because of what Keats's teams have done before they got there. And just that, again, like we've talked about, we're going to talk about, we haven't had one NCAA tournament win. You know, we haven't made it to one ACC championship final. You know, and it just again, a lot of that unfortunately is just kind of the buildup, and unfortunately, the players now are not getting even close to as much give and take as they would have gotten if they were Keats' first team or second team, let's say. So, you know, but again, also too, John, you know, points out they're collecting NIL checks. And listen, man, I mean, I get it that yes, in today's day and age,
it's a little different
as much. Then it's a little different than it used to be. Now they're getting checks. I get it, but at the end of the day, you know, that heart in you still gotta say these are still 18 to 22-year-old young adults. Like, you know, and at the end of the day, they're getting offered an opportunity to make money for themselves and their family. And they're not going to say no to that just so that way they don't have to get, you know, criticized as much. You know,
So-
like we can't fault them for that. And in my opinion, we can't treat them that much differently than before they started getting NIL checks. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I was going to say
As long as they
NIL
handle it properly.
Yeah, I mean the NILs, you know, is just that their name, image, and likeness. And you know, Reed, when we had him on, it's, you know, it's not about the person who can score the most points, and you know, it's the person that's the most marketable for, you know, whatever that is. Now, granted, performance does have a small tie into it, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, these guys are getting NIL, but it's not as much as we would maybe like to think that they're getting. Like they're having an ability to market themselves, but you know, they're still working for that too. So it's not just that they're getting a handout.
Yeah.
right.
And it's not like that they're just basing or like living off of that check. Like
Right.
No.
they're also playing the sport they love before NIL was even a thing. Their dream is to go to the NBA. They want to succeed. They want to have a championship ring on their finger. They're not living for these NIL checks. So a lot of people just need to understand that as well. Like just because they have a check doesn't mean like, oh, I've got it now. Like we're good. I'm not even going to put in the work to get anywhere. Like, no, they're working their tails off. So
I gotta say, Ken, you're shooting out some fire.
Makes me
points
mad.
tonight.
Like it hurts me for these guys because I see them. Like I see it on the court, knowing Casey personally, and seeing just how like he's trying to keep that leadership on the court, but also seeing all of these people tearing him down it's aggravating. And if y'all know me at all, I'm a very protective friend. So come
I
at
would say we don't know what the root issue of why we're losing is. I mean, like it's not
right.
So let's leave it at that. But let's move on. We've talked about this enough.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Well, and
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
This is
so
everybody.
so real quick, I guess. Well, let's formally switch over to Tuffy's tweets of the week. Here we go. All right. So this tweet here by Wolfpack Vishnu talking about Debbie Yao did so much for in-state athletics, and absolutely she did. One of the biggest moves and one of the biggest names in in-state athletics history, no doubt about it. Thanks to her, we have nationally relevant programs in wrestling, cross country, women's tennis, baseball, women's basketball, both swimming, among others. But Keats' hire was a complete miss per this tweet here. And
So
wanted to kind of also to add this other tweet as well. I want to add this other tweet to kind of add a little context. So NC State sports fan putting out, in the past 4 years, we have had 31 quad one opportunities. We've won an astonishing 3 of them. Think about that for a minute. 3 and 28 and quad one opportunities over the last 4 years.
Yeah. The one thing I'll preface this tweet real quick. Oh, go ahead, Michael. You're probably going to say the same thing I am. So go for it.
Yeah. I always have an issue with these, moving target stats. Like, it's the same thing of like when you talk about Doran top 25 wins, like when we beat a team that contributes negatively to their ranking. So it's like, and it's always a moving target. At one point last year, I think we had 5 quad one wins and we ended the year with 1. So it's like, I don't know. It's definitely not good, but I don't think that this is as bad as it's
a big grain of salt. What you're getting at, right? Big grain of salt.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was going to say too.
It's just not it's unfortunately in a situation.
It is a stat though.
Oh, it is, and I mean it does.
And we're talking 4 years. Like it's not like it's 1 year. So there's a larger sample size there. So
right. Yeah. No. Again, at the end of the day, unfortunately, in a situation where we are eventually wanting to get to the point where we can look at the NCAA tournament not as a goal but a byproduct, and winning ACC championships, things like that. like quad one opportunities, we got to be better than 3 and 28. Like, and I mean, like looking at the rest of this schedule, for example, I mean, basically we have 5 quad one opportunities left.
As of today.
As of today.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, to Michael's point.
Yeah, as of today. We have at Wake Forest, at Clemson, at UNC, Duke at home, at Pitt.
Now hold on, I'm gonna say right now, at Wake Forest and Clemson, NC State can totally win. State can win those games, but
and Pitt too.
They don't seem, they don't come across as unfathomable to me. It's just a lot what we've done for me lately, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of hope. Think about it, but they can totally do it. So it's just a matter of
I'm excited to see
not to go
Middleborough.
back into all of it again, but
well, I mean, real quick, I mean, we didn't take a lead against Wake Forest until like the last 4 minutes of that game. Clemson is Clemson was Clemson last year.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand what you're saying, and in theory, we have a fighting chance, but again, we don't know if they're going to go out and make shots or can't make a shot shooting it into the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it's kind of like we're to the point where we were with football. Like, is it going to keep going down this road, or are we going to switch it up and change something and start actually going out there and winning games? So it's like the next few games we're going to see which one they actually want to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a turning point right here. You've got 3 games at home against 3 teams you'll be favored against. I didn't think we would be favored against Miami, but I think we're 1.5, 2-point favorites there.
Yeah, but again, that's a moving target too, isn't it? Based on betting lines, like how people are betting.
Yeah. But just saying that those are the next 3 are 3 very winnable games at home,
and that could put you on a streak easily.
Right, and you don't have any Q1 wins. You also don't have any Q3 or Q4 losses, so you're still right kind of in the middle where it's not over, but you got to start winning lots of games
now.
soon.
Yeah.
Now.
There's no time to waste.
Not soon. Now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night at 9, we need to come out and win a game.
It's a must win.
I might be in bed by then.
No, it's a must win. Yeah, and and just us too want to kind of bring up a couple of points from earlier because we haven't touched on many of them. But yeah, Josh said 3 straight home games. If we lose to Miami, Georgia Tech, can you imagine what it'll be like against Pitt?
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, no, if you lose both those games, we're done. Just pack it up.
Especially Georgia Tech. There's
Georgia Tech. Oh my God. Yeah,
that might be Q4. Honestly,
the Fighting EB Duanas.
I don't know if they're that bad, but
the Fighting EB Duanas. I like it.
Right. When the Fighting,
but that's a team that plays hard. I mean, they got a new coach. Yeah, and they almost.
It should have beat Duke.
Who, Pitt or Georgia Tech? Pitt.
No, Georgia Tech beat Duke.
But
early. It was that was like the first ACC game we played back in December.
Okay, I know Pitt won at Duke.
Yeah, so much has changed since then, but yeah.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, Pitt beat Duke too at Duke
last weekend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't you remember all the your number one to the Pitt player? Yeah. So Eric bringing up all indications are pointing towards it's time for a coaching change. The fan base deserves better. Our team's performance and consistency is not 25. I blame the coaching staff. And hey, listen, there's a reason why. Again, with Tuffy talk, we will always be pushing for that glass half full mentality.
We're never going to push for someone to get fired.
We're never going to push for somebody to get fired. I guarantee you will not see us. Like, that's why we're not even on the show talking about who do we want to replace Keats, because at the end of the day, there's still an opportunity. It's a very, very minute opportunity, but there is an opportunity. And
it's there.
It's there.
There's our positivity right there. There's a sliver. There's a sliver.
But I also too, there's a reason why the only tweet that I made during the game against Syracuse was, my mother taught me if I don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm not going to say anything at all. I just kept it at that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely shortcomings on this team, right? I mean, from roster management to rotations, I mean, you can make arguments in a lot of different areas. Pulling the right string at the right time. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm sure even Coach Keats would be like, yeah, we need to do a better of this or need to do a better of that. But until they actually do it, it's just all talk.
It really is very simple to me. My biggest problem, I think the biggest problem with this team, we don't have that guy. We don't have that guy. Like last year,
DJ.
you had Big T and Jarkel. That then day you could say, here Jarkel, here Big T, you got this, and they would go and find a way to get it done. But
Robert
we do not.
Dillingham, line 1. Robert Dillingham, line 1.
Oh my God, I hate watching. I can't even watch Kentucky. I'm like, what could have been if this man was in red?
But you know what I mean? But I mean, that's the point, right? Like, you don't have a go-to guy where
You don't have that guy.
know he can make other guys better around him. We don't have someone that makes other people better on this team.
And I think that's another reason that people are like, maybe don't fire Keats yet, because I mean, he knows how to keep people on because of the recruiting. Like Paul McNeil,
He can recruit.
Yeah, Paul McNeil coming in, that has everybody excited. Like he could definitely be that guy that everybody circles around. But if you fire him, there's a good
but you're
chance
also asking a lot from a
Yeah.
true freshman.
Because again, Ken, here's my thing is that if Keats goes to meet with, like, let's say we don't make the tournament, if Keats goes to meet with Boo Corrigan, what is his reasoning for saying that next year will be better due to this? It's not depth, it's not talent, it's not experience, it's not injuries.
He's made coaching changes.
Right, he's made coaching changes. So what is it that Keats going to say to Boo that don't worry, it's going to be better next year because of Paul McNeil, like a very good freshman, but not.
Like,
not like
He's not the number one recruit in the country.
You don't make decisions on a player on a program based off of a player.
You can't.
Because
you can't be held hostage.
Yeah, you can't do that. And that's good. As good as the player may be, and I mean, you say that, and then watch Paul McNeil. I mean, he's still coming to state right now. Nothing's changing, and I want him to come to state. Don't get me wrong, but like,
absolutely,
unless he's like the next Michael Jordan or whatever, it's like, okay. I mean, like David Thompson, like, okay,
yeah, been better.
We can find pretty good players. So he's really good. And I really want him to come to state, but you can't make a program changing decision off of one player.
Yeah, he's not going to change our fortune that much.
No,
that's where it's the transfer portal. It's a blessing and a curse because it's like, okay, yeah, you obviously like Leighton, you said you're missing that guy this year. It's like, okay, well, maybe we can just go out and get one next year, and it's like, maybe, but it's like there's always that hope, but I don't know.
But see, the problem though is that if we give Keats another chance, if whatever that may mean, if we somehow make the tournament and he's our head coach next year, and he goes out and gets a dynamite transfer, like huge guy, and we go on to have a great season next year, is it possibility that what we're seeing is just a fool's gold? It's a fool's gold. Exactly. It's a painted over of actually not such a great coach. Again, because that's the problem is I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing an opportunity right now. Like honestly, to me, one of the biggest things I would say, and that we better not take one more mid-range shot the rest of the season, man. We are going to the basket or we're shooting a three every single time. Stop with the long range twos, man. None of the players, unfortunately, are shooting good enough right now to shoot a mid-range two, unfortunately. So we need to go to the basket or shoot a three.
Our best half of basketball happened with somebody in the locker room. So it's like, it's starting to be like, what is it? Like that's not, I don't think that's just.
Who is that somebody you're talking about, Ken?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
that was still a great.
I'm not name dropping.
That was a great game. That was a great game, by the way.
Here's the one thing that we haven't seen from a Coach Keats team is any kind of consistency year in and year out, right? So he's made a tournament, doesn't make a tournament, makes a tournament. We'll see what happens this year, but he hasn't been able to stack good year on good year on good year to the point we were kind of just talking about the whole fool's gold. So yes, if McNeil comes in next year, lights it up, we somehow make a tournament. One, we got to win a game in the tournament, which we still haven't done. And then what do you do the next year? Because again, we and like you said, Michael, with the portal, we can have a McNeil come in next year. He does really great, and then he gets poached by some other school. Like, so there's, unfortunately, there's just that continuity and that consistency is really hard to get going and get established.
And I think that's in this day and age with the portal and transfers and everything, I think roster management and getting the right guys on your team is more important than, your X's and O's, like strategy wise. If you can just get the best players out there and make them fit.
Yeah, you're almost better to recruit guys after they've committed to another college. And that way you've got them for a longer haul. You've got them for 2 to 3 years instead of just, one and then they transfer out. or get a grad guy. And you only got him for a year.
Even that may be going away. I think.
Yeah, it's true. Right, with the double transfer.
Yeah,
and because
yeah,
because last point I want to make, and I think we can move on to soon from men's basketball to Macon's point about how I just want to donate to NIL just to finally just go and win a championship in basketball. The problem is that if we said, all right, Keats, you're going to come back and we're going to put stupid amount of money into NIL, that at the end of the day it's still a trust in Keats to give that NIL money towards the right players, and it's also at the end of the day, even though you have great players, you still got to coach them up. You still got to put them in positions to win. And so, and also too, unfortunately, if Keats isn't making the tournament, if you go to fans and beg and plead, it's going to be really tough for them to give any money, or much less even buy tickets.
You're not getting NIL money if we don't make the tournament.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm still going to ask people to donate, but man, even me myself, I'm saying, man, that's just
all right.
It's a bold move, Cotton. It's a bold move.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Exactly.
Bold strategy.
Exactly. But anyway, y'all. So at the end of the day, let's see where the season plays out. Let's start off tomorrow night, Miami, 9 p.m., PNC Arena. Must win.
Nice thing is we can get a winning streak going tomorrow.
Yep. Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, listen, just like y'all said, when we lost Duke in football, we thought things were really going south quickly, and we turned it around. But not necessarily saying it's apples to apples there, but let's wait and see.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, but let's put it this way: any frustrations, y'all,
there's a chance.
but I will say once again, any frustrations y'all are feeling out there, we're feeling it too. 100% agree with it.
But leave the boys alone.
Leave the boys alone, and let's support the guys.
Mackenzie will come and find you.
I really will.
She knows people who knows people.
She will go Ivan Drago on you. She goes, I will break you.
I will break you. Yes. All righty. All right. With that being said, let's move it around to some positive, baby.
Yes,
women's basketball.
We spent 40 minutes talking about the negative. Oh my gosh.
And now we're going to be classless.
People want to talk about it.
Yes, right.
I mean, really? I mean, we give them what they want, right? They want to hear.
Well, and we
it's just a giant therapy session at this point.
It was for sure. But just like Russ said, women's basketball, big week, beat the light blue team, and they are back in the top 5. And we got a huge game coming up here Thursday night against that light blue team who just lost by double digits to
UVA.
So, ouch.
And y'all heard what Westmore said.
I loved it.
Honestly,
what did he say?
Be classless.
And
as classless
I love
as you can be on Thursday.
Yeah. Well, and I love that one tweet out there from I think it was a UNC guy being like, it's so petty seeing two coaching staffs talk bad about each other's programs, and it's like
Mac does that every year.
He's a new. I think he's a new UNC beat writer, so he's not.
Because Westmore has never said one bad thing and never will say one bad thing about the UNC women's.
He didn't start it.
He told us to be classless. That's all he said. He was talking to us.
Yep, he was talking to us about us. He was not saying.
He didn't say nothing about UNC.
And he was saying that somebody, Banghart, said that we are classless. And so, okay, well, if we're classless, then go be classless, Wolfpack Nation.
You hadn't seen classless yet, Miss Thing. Just wait.
Yes.
She said that this year?
Yeah.
No.
No. She said that last year on a podcast with a British guy.
I remember that.
I think Wes was also kind of acknowledging the whole what Mac Brown said about the athletes over here as well, because he was like, I've heard a few coaches say that we have some classless fans, so I'm asking Wolfpack Nation to be even more classless on Thursday. So I think he's throwing shade at every coach that decides to run their mouth about our school.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it says Westmore on playing UNC at Reynolds Coliseum this week. I believe someone called us classless. I hope our fans are real classless on Thursday night. Is the exact quote.
And they will be. We got you, coach.
Yeah.
I wish that someone had could just throw in some money and put T-shirts and just put the word classless on red T-shirts with white lettering.
Just
Like, that
like
would
just
be
like the
One of the
Hurricanes
S's
with
is like the block S. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. There you go. I like that.
but just like with the Hurricanes, where it's where one guy's called Hurricanes a bunch of jerks, and
Right.
they like
And it's
They
like
just
a
embraced it.
huge thing
Yeah.
now.
Mhm. Yep, it's like, all right, we're a bunch of classless fans. Cool, sounds
Right.
good. And hey, I mean, where the mascot Wolfpack came from is because somebody said that we behaved like a pack of wolves. So
Yeah.
so a shade that turned into a mascot. So
Yeah. But really good week for the women's basketball team last week with two good wins against Clemson
and Boston College.
Boston College. Thank you. I was trying to remember who we beat yesterday.
But the biggest thing which I'll say about these 2 wins, which I loved, is the fact that it was Isaiah and Madison really carrying the load for us in these 2 weeks because they were the ones struggling, and now they're the ones carrying. And to me, that's what you want. Like to me, it's kind of a little bit in the situation where you don't have that one that one player that carries the load. What you want is kind of like in baseball, where you don't want every batter hot at the same time, because that means that they're going to be all cold at the same time. It's kind of one of those things where it's, hey, listen, right now, Madison and Isaiah have been feeling it. So, hey, give them the ball. But then, come to UNC, if Sanaya and Zoe are feeling it, then give them the ball. It's a good thing of having a lot of really good players. And
also
love having Rubber Ballbin back.
Yeah, also props to Mimi Collins in her last 5. She's got 14, 18, 16, 14, and 17.
She's been killing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
I think Mimi is one of my favorite players to watch play on the women's team because I feel like she does not get the attention she deserves.
Yep.
And I don't know. I really like Mimi.
Yeah. She's been averaging 15.8 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game over the last 5.
Isn't she on an award watch list too? I forgot which one it was though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, but
also too,
they just all fit together so well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they love playing with each other. The difference in watching the games is just crazy.
Yep.
Big week.
Also too, shout out to here, Carson. Yep. Sorry, bud. A little bit of lag here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
Shout out to this. Also, this comment here about Carson. Banghart also said that Duke is more relevant than the 2020, 2021, and 2022 ACC champs.
Yeah.
So, interesting comment there.
She said that too?
Yes.
So
For someone that's Ivy League educated, she's about as dumb as they come.
Okay, so she's 100% trying to stir the pot and get attention.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Like
she knows. Yeah, she knows.
To me, that comes across as super immature, but but whatever.
Megan said, "Wait, she said that too."
Like Duke is more relevant in women's basketball than 3-time AC champion. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a bold move, God.
I don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's good. It's about to get real though for the women. Like we're gonna find out what this team is really made out of.
Yeah.
For the next 5 are against ranked opponents. Now, granted, that the nice thing is 3 of those are at home, and so I mean, this is where you're gonna probably win the outright conference championship pretty much here, because there'll be a lot of tiebreakers that'll be coming into play with these next couple of games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited.
And it's good to finally see us ranked above Colorado, right? So now we can put that behind us, right?
Wow.
So,
yeah, and honestly, Kansas State's darn lucky they didn't take 2 L's last week. They barely pulled out 2 games. But the interesting thing is that I saw today that this is the first time ever in women's basketball history that 2 teams that were unranked going into the season are in the top 5. And Kansas State being number 2 and us being number 5. So it's definitely a great time for women's basketball. There's a lot more parity in the, you don't have just, South Carolina's still there, but other teams have fighting chances to make a run in these things now. It's not just one team that's, just going to go out and destroy everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, right now it's unfortunately South Carolina's to lose right now. They're ridiculous right now. So,
and this was supposed to be an off year for them, which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, they do know they have Don Staley as a coach, right? I guess somebody forgot about that. But anyway, but I do want to talk a little bit about the Friday night duel, though, NC State Wrestling versus UNC, which is it's really cool, actually, that in back-to-back nights in Rose Coliseum, we're going to have we're going to face off against UNC in women's basketball and then wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting how we have two UNC coaches who both made dumb
You can't
comments.
shut up.
That bang hard with hers.
It's gonna bite them this week. I'm telling you.
And then UNC's head coach, new wrestling head coach, said in the preseason, it's unfortunate for Papalizio to be brought down a few pegs. There is a normal order of things, and Chapel Hill is above NC State. And,
well, he was also talking about converting NC State fans into NC State wrestling fans into Carolina wrestling fans.
Yep, they said he also said NC State needs to be humbled. We will turn their bandwagon fans into Carolina wrestling fans. Wow. Wow.
And this
right there, right? Just dumb.
Any more out of touch with the fan bases?
Well, not only that, but his stupid
coach without saying you're a first year coach.
Well, not only that, his stupid comment about why student athletes go to Carolina is for the women, not the education. Like he had that comment too. So
which he had to apologize on that. So yeah.
Right,
it's fine. I mean,
bandwagon fans. Do you not get that you get bandwagon fans from winning championships? We're the most loyal fans in the world. What the heck?
I mean, I get it. They're just trying to, ignite the rivalry, which, they're not rivals of us, so I don't know why you would do that. But, whatever makes you to get, out of bed in the morning and get you excited for your job, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, obviously UNC Wrestling coming off a huge win at number 19 Pitt, 31-6, just absolute butt whooping. And at the end of the day, for anybody who's curious about, well, we have lost a couple of matches early, that weren't expected. At the end of the day, just like I've said 100 times, the non-conference duels really don't matter. It's really the conference ones. And at the end of the day, as long as if we can get all 10 wrestlers to qualify for the NCAA tournament, that's all we care about. So just, and at the end of the day, we're 1-0 in the ACC. That's all you need. And now we need to go 2-0 starting off here at UNC on Friday night. So make sure to go, if you haven't already. Wrestling, our tickets are no more than $20 a piece. Very cheap.
They're still available.
So please go. And
crazy.
And it's going to be a stupid, crazy environment, especially because of these
back-to-back
comments.
nights in Reynolds too. It's crazy.
Wrestling tickets are $20
ish. Yeah,
they're like, it depends where you buy them, but they're anywhere between like $12 and $25, give or take a piece. So
because I remember we were saying that wrestling are only like $5 or $10. So
I think it's like 15. Yeah, I can look it up real quick, but yeah.
When I looked up on NC State's, but listen. But hey, listen, I mean, we've had a consistent top 5, wrestling program for years now. So, hey, I mean, I'm okay paying $15 a ticket for to watch a top 5 NC State.
Yeah, that means people want to go and people are willing to pay. Yeah.
Car's saying Thursday and Friday night are going to be fireworks, 100%.
Oh yeah, campus is about to be crazy on Thursday and Friday night.
I'm just saying, I got a meeting moved up on Thursday so I can make the game on Thursday night.
Greg's going to be on a Zoom meeting in his seat at Reynolds.
I love it. I love it.
This will be the last trip before baseball season, so I had to make sure I got all the good ones in this weekend because, well, at least all the good ones at Reynolds. I'll be at men's basketball Saturday. Pray for me.
You're good.
The look away was crazy.
Yeah. So with that being said, though, let us actually talk a little bit of baseball here. Got to give a huge shout to baseball has now had a number 13 and a number 22 preseason ranking, which
was a 16 in there too somewhere on another
16.
1.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. So basically the overall consensus is this team should be good. We don't know how good, but it should be good. Basically, that's what that ranking tells me. 13, 16, and 22 basically they should be good, but we don't know how good. So, and again, once again, I think we also had 4 or 5 other ACC teams ranked in the top 25 in this ranking too. So
yeah, it was interesting. We were ranked higher than. Sorry, technical difficulty. We were ranked higher than like Duke and Carolina and the other one, but this one they're ranked ahead of us, so it's okay.
Whatever. Again, there's a lot of baseball. We'll move this drastically.
70 games.
Yes, a lot. So, and Carson talked about how they don't have an easy ACC series. There's not an easy ACC team. Every team is at least good.
Exactly.
Every team is good.
And we got some good out of conference games too. That we got the East Carolinas. I think we got Campbell on there.
Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good schedule. Do we want to go ahead and we were going to do it before the show got started, but we want to go ahead and put out that news.
We can. I mean, so in terms of who our preview is going to be with.
No. No. Okay, we can talk about that in a second. No, about about Jackson Lucas.
Jackson Lucas.
Work with me here. Yeah.
Sorry, Greg.
It's all right.
Our telepathy is not on point tonight. Our telepathy is not on point tonight.
Yeah. No, just real quick, we're all Jackson Lucas and his family's in our thoughts and prayers. He lost his dad last week to I believe it was a 3-year battle with ALS. So just want to kind of give him a shout out and just say, we're thinking about you and the whole Lucas family. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
for those who aren't aware, he is a baseball pitcher. He's a
sorry,
pitcher,
thank
right?
you. Yeah, true freshman pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I know he hangs out with Steve Young and Reynolds Hall and those guys a lot. So,
dude, that dude loves NC State. Like, I know he's an athlete, but like, even if he wasn't an athlete, he would be all about it. So, but yeah, we're definitely thinking about him, and just I know it's a tough time for him, especially having to deal with that and the season just getting started.
Yeah, I was about to say going into the season too.
Yeah.
But if you want to go ahead and switch gears, go ahead, and if you want to tell them about our preview, go for it.
Yeah. So just for our amazing followers here, we're gonna go ahead and let y'all know that we are going to be doing our 2024 baseball season preview with the one, the only Gino Groover, baby, and we're excited to have him on to talk about his life and after NC State, going through the pro circuit, things like that, but also too talking a little bit about his thoughts on the players. Definitely, in my opinion, talking a lot about Sam Highfield, man, because this will kind of move into our next tweet of the week here, man. But man, I am ready for Sam Highfield to come back guns a-blazing, man. Like, it is so overdue. It is stupid how overdue it is for him to come back to what he was in 2021.
Yeah. So this is the last ride for the 21 team too. So.
Oh yeah.
That's right. So, but make sure you do not miss out on that preview. Do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and hit that notification bell so that way you're notified whenever any of our episodes go live. But that being said, our next tweet of the week here is D1 Baseball came out with the preseason All-Americans with pitcher Dominic Fritton, again, third team All-American, and Jacob Kozar, again, second team All-American. And
it's crazy. He's a top 10 prospect and he's second team All-American.
You said it, not me. Thank you,
yeah.
Greg.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I didn't see who first team was, so maybe it makes sense.
But I mean, I agree. I mean, unless there's another catcher that's also a top 10 prospect, I mean, which there might be, but I don't know, man. So, but yeah, no, I mean, honestly, to me though, like the first thing that stood out to me, like I already kind of basically hit at it, seeing Dominic Fritton being like, man, that should be Sam Highfield, man. Like Dom Friend's been phenomenal, and again, like that kid is going to be great for us this season. But again, just I think every State fan is going to have a little bit of that ache in their heart, being like thinking about what Sam Highfield did for us in 2021 in the Pac-13 game, and being dominant against Vanderbilt in the College World Series, and I want with every bone in my body for that guy to have his comeback, man. Injuries have plagued him. And that back injury has plagued him, unfortunately, and we're ready for him to get back from that. So
we have an old buddy on the preseason All-American list too.
Who? Sorry. Okay, yeah.
Process it for a second. Yeah.
Number 47.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, he's got to be first team, right? Got to be first team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be first team.
Yeah, so. Yeah, first team. All right, so Cole Messina is the catcher from South Carolina. That's the first team guy. So
okay, all right. I mean, hey, listen, Kozar if Kozar can use that as a little bit of fire, then fine, go be it. Go crazy, use that as fire. I'm here for it. But anyway, y'all. So we are now 2.5 weeks away from opening. Opening weekend, so make sure y'all to go and get tickets where you can, and let's pack it out.
We'll have some giveaways.
We'll have some giveaways for sure, so stay tuned for that. Any last thoughts here on baseball before we touch on a couple other things?
No, we got plenty to talk about this weekend.
Less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
it's like 18. It's like 18 days.
That's right.
It's 2 weeks from this
LSU
Friday is
just
what it
lost
is.
in basketball.
LSU just lost to women's basketball to who?
Mississippi State. I saw that.
Mhm.
Ooh, ouch.
Didn't State have a player? A player.
Madison
transfer?
Hayes.
There you go. No, transferred to Mississippi State. No, Madison Hayes.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. We did.
Sophie Hart.
No, she's at Minnesota.
I'm gonna look it up. Figure it out. 1 second. I'll look at the roster real quick.
Yeah. Nope, that's not her.
Here, I'll figure it out. I'll
Yeah.
let you know.
Yeah.
I could, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm
Yeah.
not.
I think it's
But-
the Jessica Timmons.
I feel like she went to Rutgers or something.
Interesting.
I think I'm wrong, guys. So
I'll look real quick and I'll
I'm putting the roster right now. So I'm gonna beat you. So there.
But man, that's a rough look though for LSU to get Angela Reese back and also add to it Livy Van Lith, and they just haven't looked like
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie,
they
dude. I'm
look
so
like
glad they're
they're
losing
on.
because they are
Yeah.
so full of themselves. I love it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anyone on there.
well, and Nick talked about Shaquille Moore,
Alabama, that's
from
right.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's where Timmons went, Alabama.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, but that being said, huge announcement as the NC State football spring game will be April
So ready
6th,
for
4 p.m.
Oh yeah.
So
So
make
excited.
sure to put that on your schedule. Make sure to come out as Macon is ready for it, and I love it.
That's a different
And-
time too. Like normally it's earlier. So
Yeah, it's usually like 12.
hmm
Yeah.
I like that time.
Yeah.
Side note: we should get
Well, I
back
think
to
they-
football players posing like they used to back in like the 70s, where they'd be like a football pose.
The Heisman.
They're doing that. Yeah, not like the Heisman, but just like, they're like on the line. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Cool photos. Sorry,
Make you
thought.
sounded such a dad. Just
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are
But again, so make sure April 6th, 2:00 p.m. Make sure to put it on your calendar. Come and check it out. As again, there's going to be a lot to see at the spring game. A lot.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people there.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
totally.
a whole new.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of things going on. I'm sure Savage Wolves will do some stuff. Like I think it's going to be probably one of the biggest ones in quite some time.
Oh, totally. Yeah, for sure. Not only just because of the players and seeing the players, but also, yeah, I think there's going to be. We haven't heard anything yet about what kind of pregame activities and stuff they're going to do, but I'm sure they're going to do something. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, also too got to give a huge shout out to our guy Peyton Wilson, who did his measurables for the Senior Bowl, measuring in at 6'4", 234, hands what is that, 9 inches, I guess, 9 inches across. Arm length 30.18 inches and a wingspan 76.18 inches. But the biggest thing, which I do want to say, I think that what he does in the Senior Bowl, what he does on Pro Day, like, I mean, he has top round 1 or 2 potential if he can ball out and if he can put some of these injury stuff, behind, injury concerns behind him, which I think then like we said, if he can run a 4.40. Which I mean he ran.
I don't see him any
Notre
issue
Dame.
doing that at all.
See, the only thing about that is he lost 4 pounds, and that was, I realize it's relative, but like he I feel like his one thing besides injury is I feel like people think he maybe could be bigger, which I don't really know about that, but it's like I don't know. I've heard people say that about him because he's like a.
I guess maybe
he is.
it's at 6'4", he could maybe
I mean, Luke
probably
Kuechly
have
was
10
only
to 15 more
45,
pounds,
so-
but
I don't know. I've heard that, but I'm trying to look here.
Look, just put it on the
Yeah.
tape. Like the heck with the
Yeah.
measurables.
Yeah,
Just put it on the tape.
Right. I know. Like, if,
No, I know
if
you
a
do.
team's
I'm just
really,
saying.
if our team's really going to boil down to like, well, this guy did win Best Defensive Player of the Year, but he could put on 10 more pounds. Like, you're stupid. Okay, so
yeah.
I mean they've done it all, since the day of time. Drew Brees is too short. Russell Wilson's too short. I mean, you just look for the negatives in these guys, but the tape doesn't lie when for the most part. And here's the other thing, and we all know this, like the draft is not an exact science. So you got guys that get drafted high, don't do nothing. You get guys that are undrafted and have,
Ball out.
borderline Hall of Fame careers.
Agreed. Absolutely. But yeah, just like Carson said, Peyton Wilson graduated from NC State University and Grumman University. So I love it. Yeah. No. And again,
looking here, I saw someone did a study. I'm doing a quick slide. I don't know who this guy is. Could be a 5th grader, but it looks like he did some pretty good data analysis. And said the average linebacker had a weight of 244.5. So that's where I come back to that. So
probably.
But again,
average, right?
What one off-season program where he can get that 9 pounds of muscle.
University of Idaho did that study. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So
they're not very good at football. What do they know?
Powerhouse of football. Hey, there's smart people there who watch football. So
yeah. No,
Lane's like, this is a weird take, making.
I ain't saying nothing. So
I know,
yeah. Which hey, listen, I agree with Nick. At the end of the day, if injuries push him back to the 3rd round, then that is going to be the absolute steal of the draft.
I'm telling you, he's going to be a freaking steal. Easy.
I told a buddy of mine, I said, I really could see him being a 2nd round pick. I think I could see some team being like screw. He's been 2 years healthy. He's fine. Kind of like I could see a team doing that. Yeah. So
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean like if Peyton Wilson again could run a 4.4 with everything he does physically, with how athletic he is, how high his football IQ is, like I just don't.
If people are already comparing him to a Luke Kuechly, yeah, he's definitely going to be a steal in the draft.
Yeah,
that's just a different breed of linebacker.
Agreed. So, but with that being said, hey, listen, let's just see how he does in the Senior Bowl. Let's see, what he does on Pro Day. And I know that, I don't know if there's a way to do like a live stream of the 40, but I would love to like watch like second by second Peyton Wilson's Pro Day, like because that is going to be a huge make or break. I feel like for his draft stock.
Yeah.
And Nick kind of brings up. He reminds me more of Leighton Vander Esch than Luke Kuechly, which
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
There was a couple of Cowboys linebackers that were old. I can't remember the guy's name. I saw somebody do a comp of a couple comps of Luke Kuechly.
King.
I can't. No, his first name is Sean something. I can't.
No, I was calling Luke Kuechly a king.
No, that's not it. I'll look it up.
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee. I saw a comp for him to Sean Lee.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, I saw a comp for him to Sean Lee. There's another one, but that was one that I remember a little bit. Obviously, I need some help remembering it, but yeah.
Yeah. So again, excited, y'all. And then lastly, just want to touch on this real quick here. With NC State gymnastics, man, got to give a shout out. Which, hey, listen, y'all. There's been a couple tweets, giving me / us a hard time about being, gymnastics, lovers. Which, hey, listen, I don't care, man. Hey, gymnastics is if they deserve it, then they deserve the credit. And then at the end of the day, I'm looking at the fan support that showed out, the students that showed out, the fact they had a student line around the block around Reynolds to get in, like. Listen, there's hype there, and I want to keep boosting that fire because listen, it's
I like winning.
So.
I like
winning.
Right?
Yeah, I like winning. I like a top 25.
If there was a chess team that was winning, I would celebrate it. Okay,
sure.
Yeah. Give us something more to talk about other than men's basketball.
Best believe it. Yeah.
And also too, because again, we just I don't know about you, but I also love a winning program. But I also love a program that dominates UNC. And I mean, last Friday. They dominated UNC, beat them by over a point. So I'm here for it.
Whoa. Gymnastics is a lot. So
which if you don't know, that's a lot.
By 1 point.
Yeah. It isn't basketball. But again,
real quick, Leighton, on this graphic, what does it mean by specialist of the week? Like, what does that mean exactly for gymnastics world? Do you know?
Does that mean like her specialty is floor?
So typically, yeah. Probably. So basically, like gymnast of the week is typically like a gymnast that competes all around, so competes in all 4 events. Specialist of the week is typically for somebody who competes in like 1 or 2 events, so is a specialist, but is like phenomenal at that 1 or 2 events that they compete in. So, but by the way, too, though, these Clemson leotards that's a weird, like it's just crazy to see Clemson in the gymnastics. Because keep in mind, this is the first year that Clemson's had a gymnastics program. But also too, again, got to give a huge shout out as well that, for Wolfpack Nation, again, we have 3 superb gymnasts in Lex Ortega, Chloe Negretti, and Emily Shepard. Emily Shepard being the gymnast of the week this week, but also too, the freshman class this year, folks, is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Ashley Knight being the newcomer of the week, and then Maddie Lee being also a dominant freshman as well. The future of in-state gymnastics is super, super bright. That's all I'll say on that. So,
hey, what do they have, about 4,000, 4,500? It looked pretty full.
Yeah.
What would you guess?
Yeah, 4,500 sounds about right to me. Sounds about right. I mean, enough where there wasn't like one section that was completely empty. Like pretty much every single section was taken. There was people in every single section, and there wasn't like one like big huge spot, and the entire student section was filled, which is awesome. So again, and then Carson got to give a shout to gymnastics for making Friday Taylor Swift night.
Tired of hearing her name.
Nobody.
We got 2 more weeks.
I'm so tired of it.
Props to Taylor Swift making it to the Super Bowl her first year.
Did you see? Did you see American? Well, hey, honestly, I'm not going to bite into this because it's like they want me to talk about this.
That's exactly what they wanted, Macon.
I'm not doing it.
Fall for it.
I'm not doing it.
You're better than that, Macon.
Yeah.
He stopped himself mid-sentence.
Nope,
the guy will not do it.
Yes. And again, it actually is kind of interesting though with like, is Lamar Jackson the biggest almost quarterback? Like, and even go back to his college years, like if he almost could have been that guy in terms of like if he would have beaten Clemson at Clemson. He was 1 yard away from pulling off the win against Clemson and competing. And
Carter Finley.
Yeah, he was almost so many almost. I know, such a shame indeed. Yeah, right.
Only if his career would have gone somewhere, he could have been something.
I know, right? I know. I mean, he could have done so much more than win one.
Imagine what he could have been. Imagine what he could have been.
NFL MVP, probably another one this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. After that game the other day, I don't know if he's going to win it at that point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's already voted. It's already voted for.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Yeah, their votes have to be in like the last week.
He's over there going, whew, that was close.
Yeah.
Because he looked bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so NFL. And the last thing I'll say as well, again, a lot of people were giving crap about, me tweeting out, I'm not watching the Super Bowl anymore. Yes, I'm watching the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm giving huge shout outs to Joe Tooney, to all the Pac pros that are supporting for sure. But then I'm a sports fan just like anybody else. Yes, I am tired of seeing the Taylor Swift talk. I'm tired of seeing the Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes talk. It's just like
Jason's the best out of both of them anyway.
He doesn't even play for the Chiefs.
I know, right? So
he's already the MVP of the Chiefs.
That's right. That's right. But anyway, y'all, I know that you might be asking, well, aren't you going to talk a little bit about the schedule release? And we will actually going to be recording some episodes to talk about that actually right now. So make sure, again, if you do not want to miss out on those episodes, make sure, again, just like I already said, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And again, also we have our preview with Gino Groover. So again, a lot of great stuff coming out and then some. So make sure to do not miss out. If you enjoyed this conversation, do us a big favor, hit that like button and make sure to give us a follow at Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, y'all. But thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all soon and go Pack, y'all.